friends, and welcome to another episode of Wire Wrapping with Jasmine. Today we are going to learn how to wrap this stone. It's a turquoise that I had from one of my dealers that I get for my stones. And my mother-in-law is obsessed with turquoise, so I decided to pick her out a piece, and this piece just happened to be shaped like a heart, sort of, and she fell in love with it, so I'm going to start wrapping it. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so first we're going to take sterling silver wire, and this is 20 gauge. And this piece was so long, so I folded it in half. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. It's roughly 23 inches in length. So I'm going to go ahead and I need at least 5 pieces. I might do 7 depending on how much wire I have. So once you got all 7 of your wires cut, you take your 24 gauge and you just pick up one wire. And then you just take your weaving wire and twist it around until you get the little tail. Don't hesitate to use your pliers. To smash it down. Make it flush with the rest of the wire. Then you take 2 more wires, put one on the top and one on the bottom, and go over both of them with your 24 gauge wire. Flatten it out if you need to. There we are. Then put one on the top, one on the bottom. Wrap once. Straighten with your pliers. And then put your last 2 wires, one on the top and one on the bottom, and wrap around once. Flatten with your pliers. That's what the weave should look like so far. Now you go down. So you'll pick up the top wire and the first bottom wire. Flatten with your pliers. And then the second top wire. Second bottom wire, and then the third top wire, so then you're just wrapping around the middle one again. And since I did 3 on this side, I'm going to go ahead and do, since I did 3 on this side, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 on this side as well. And there's what it should look like. And then you just start over again. And just clamp them down. Push them all to the center so it's as tight as it can be. And there you are. And then you just continue until you get the length that you need. Okay, so I finished my star weave, and I didn't want it to go completely around the stone. I wanted there to be a little bit of space left up at the top, so I didn't make it go all completely around my stone. And this is what it looks like so far. Yeah. And then what I also did is I integrated all of the wires together, so it goes left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and just keeps going all the way until the end to make it look at least a little bit cleaner, so we can start wire wrapping these ends. But next, I am going to take wire. These are roughly 13 inches long, and I'm going to just make a zigzag pattern across the front and the back to hold the stone in. Alright, so after talking to her, she said she wanted me to just go ahead and kind of bend this around the stone, because she wanted it to be mostly visible on this side. Because of this little divot here, it looks kind of like a heart a little bit. So she wants me to just go ahead and pull this around the stone. And so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take these two outside, the first two wires, I'm going to pull them as tight as it will allow. And that will also help to shape it around the stone and pull the wire tighter around the stone itself. Alright, so once these are all tied down, I don't think that stone is going anywhere. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this as tight as we can to the middle wires, and I'm going to twist them to kind of help lock this into place so that I can continue weaving. And then later on, if I need to, I can always undo this so I can use the wires for something else. Alright, so now with the stone securely in the wrap, I'm going to go ahead and take a few of the wires, and I'm just going to do a smaller version of this, the weave that I did on the outside. So just bend the other wires out of the way, take your weaving wire, start in the middle, and just start wrapping it around. And then press down any of the pokey bits. Once that is all done, you move it all the way over as far as you want. So now we're going to go up on the top first and bring it around. And then weave 4 more, because we put 4 on this side, so we're going to weave 4 on this side. Put 4 around the middle. So it should look something like this. So 4, 1, 4. And then you'll just make it go behind this wire again, come up and around one time. And if you need to, don't hesitate to use your pliers to smush it down. And then add 4 more into the middle wire. Friends, I'm very sorry about that, but while I was editing, my SD card corrupted, so I wasn't able to recover any of the footage taken on making this pendant, but I will do my best to recreate it. And I will try my best to explain it now, exactly what I did, to get it to this point. Then you're going to take the last 3 wires that you should have on the same side of the pendant, and you're going to attach your wire, and then you're going to put 3 down here, and then you're going to come up from the back, do 3 around the middle one, and then you are able to do 3 around the top one. So you should have something that looks kind of like this. And then from the top, you go and do 3 around the middle again. And then you're able to bring it back down to the bottom and do 3 around the bottom one again. And then you're able to take your pliers, flatten it out as best you can. And there is your step weave. And you just continue with this pattern until you get the length that you want. So I did 5 around the bottom and 2 around both. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and pull it down as far as it'll go, and I'm going to start twisting. Actually, I think I'm going to go around this to anchor it. There we are. And then like that. There we are. So then I'm going to do the opposite direction. Just like that. And now I think I'm going to go through both of them. I'm going to come up from behind. Wiggle this in there. There we are. If you need to use your pliers, don't hesitate. Now this is stuck right here. go behind that. So now this piece is more anchored to the frame. And then I just continue on my merry way. I think I'm actually going to come back up and behind. And I'm going to go, because this piece keeps popping out and it's really annoying. And just pull it through. All right. And I think I'm just going to hook it back onto itself right here. So then I'm going to take my pliers and bend this up just a little bit, enough for me to get this underneath. There we are. Fantastic. And then take this one and just bend it over. And clamp it down. Just like that. Fantastic. And I think while I'm at it, I am just going to bring it back up to the front. And then just do some little curly cues. And then attach it to this one right here. All right. And here's what it looks like so far. All right, now I'm going to show you how I make the bail. So I'm going to use these 4 wires. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach my wire to them. Actually, I don't want it on the end. I want it kind of in the middle, right here. So I'm going to bring it back this way just a little bit. And then I'm going to do a figure 8 weave. So I started right here. So then I'm going to come up and around here. I'm going to make it go through the wires. There we are. And then I'm going to come back through here. And then push it all together. Then I'm going to come back through here. Loop it around this one. There we are. And then bring it back to the front. Loop it around this one. Make sure that these wires don't get tangled. You loop it around this one. And then loop it back around that one. Okay. Then you'll loop it back around this one. And then you'll bring it back to the front and loop it around this one. Now you're just going to continue with this pattern. Alright, and so here it's starting to take shape. Here's what it looks like from the top and from the back. And you just keep weaving until you get to the point that you want to stop. So when it gets to the point where you want, this is how long you want it, or how wide you want it, then you're going to take your handy dandy pliers and you're just going to bend the base wires up at like a 45 to about 90-degree angle, depending on how far bent your wires were. And then just continue to do it the same pattern. And just make it go up straight instead of at an angle. So then it's basically going to be making like a square or a rectangle. So it's just going to go straight up like that. Okay, so once you get done weaving this straight up and down, then you're going to take your pliers and you're going to take both wires on both ends and just tilt them inwards to make a point. Now what I like to do, you can keep going with the figure 8 pattern if you wanted to, but I don't like to. So I'm going to continue doing the figure 8 going up through here until I get to this point, and then I'll cut it off and do the same thing to the other side. So just continue with the figure 8 pattern. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep going with this side because this side is where the wire is still attached. So you got in between here, one rotation around, another rotation around, pull it tight, and then bring it over here. Wrap it completely around once. And then on the second time, bring it back around to this side. So wrap it around once. Then on the second time, you flip it over the top wire. And you'll just keep going in this manner until you get all the way up to the length that you need. Okay, and this is what it looks like when you're done. So now you're just gonna push these two together. And since that wire is still attached, I'm just gonna go ahead, bring it through these two wires, bring it around, and then bring it through this right here. And then just continue the figure 8 pattern until these two wires are anchored together. Here's what it looks like from the back. Then just take your pliers and cut off the excess. And tie down your end. Alright, and push it down as much as you need to make it all look like tight and everything. Then you're just going to take your bail and just bend it over like so. And you're going to take these 4 wires and push them through to the front. Next, I think I'm going to get this wire out of the way. I'm going to take and I'm going to just start wrapping it single around this wire because this wire is the longer of the 2 wires. And you're just going to wrap that single for a little bit. Once you get your desired length, just scoot it all the way to the end that you need. And then you can start wrapping both together. I think on this one, I'm going to do two around both and 3 around the bottom. So just keep weaving in that pattern until you get all the way to the end. And then I got all the way to the end, and then I just did it 1 rotation around the rest of it to end it off. Alright, so with all that done, we're going to start doing some more curlicues. But these ones, I want them to stay near the top because there's already so many at the bottom. And I think I'm going to bring it around here. Push it through here. To just kind of anchor it down. Alright, that's more anchored down the way I want it to. There we are. And then I think I'm going to push it back through here because there is still a really big gap in between there. There we are. And let's try it one more time. Alrighty then. Alright. And then I'm going to take this end right here that I left bare, and I'm just going to curl it into the frame and anchor it. Alright. And this one, I'm going to follow this bend here and push it down through the bottom. Just like that. And then do one more little curly cue right here and anchor it to the frame. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it up against the frame. There. All right. So there's what we have so far. I think it's coming along fantastic. And then I'm going to split these in two. And I don't think I'm going to weave these. I think I'm just going to swirl them and wrap them around the frame like I did the rest of them. Okay. And just pull this through. So that it'll sit. Do another little one like that. So then we're able to follow this. That same direction. Push it through here to the back, and I think right here is where I'm going to anchor them both. There we go. That side's anchored down pretty well. And then this side, I think I'm going to come up and over like this. Come back around. Wrap around that. And then come around. I'm going to push it through the front. Do another little curly cue right there. Alright, so we're going to push this from the back to the front. Okay. And then I'm just going to tuck it back in on itself. Just like that. And clamp it shut. And then I'm just going to push that through and tie it off. All right. And this is the finished result. It's not perfect by any means, but I know she'll like it just the same. All right. This has been Jasmine with JD Wax, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day. Bye.